Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode, we will implement a standard response structure for Laravel REST API. Right now in our Laravel API, some response look like this and some response look like this and the validation error look completely different. This is not a production ready. Real API always return a standard response structure. So today we will implement a reusable API response format in Laravel 12. So first question is, what is the standard API response structure? Instead of a random response, every API should return like this, and for errors like this. So the benefits of this structured API response is consistency and easier for mobile developer and front-end developer to integrate this API. And if you want to debug the API if you are facing any problem, so it's cleaner debugging and it's also a production ready API. So let's go in VS Code. We will create a standard response structure for REST API in Laravel 12. So this is my VS Code. In previous video, we have already covered the error handling. So if you don't have watched that video, so link is in description and I button. First of all, we need to create a helper. In our Laravel 12 project, there is no helper folder. So we need to create it manually with the help of CMD. To create a helper folder, we need to write mkdir app helpers. Okay. So you can see inside this app, you can see there is a helper folder is created. So now the next command inside this helper, we will create a API response. Command is new item app slash helpers slash API response. So now you can see the API response is created. Okay. So API response dot PHP is created. So you can see. So now I'm going to use this namespace app slash helpers. Okay. So this line of code is organize helper class inside Laravel application. So now we are going to create a class name API response. Or inside this class, I'm going to create the functions. Okay. So first of all, we need to create a public function, static function, success. Okay. So inside this success, going to define data. By default, it will be null and message equal to, by default, it will be success. You can also change it, but by default, I am going to pass this success and $code equal to, by default, 200. 200 means success. Okay. So inside this return response, and this response will be in JSON format. So inside the JSON, I am going to define a array where success is 2 and message will be whatever the message is coming from the parameter, and the data will be whatever the data is coming from parameter, and at the end status code. Okay. So our success response code is ready. Now I am going to define another function called, we can just copy this. Okay. So we will modify that. So not a success, it's a error function. Okay. Inside the error, there is no data, only message, code, and code will be 500 by default. Okay. And $error, null by default. Okay. So there is no data. In the place of data, we are sending the errors. So now our response is ready in this situation if the response is successful and if the response is error. Okay. So this is a proper format which we will use in every response in all over the project, not single functions. So first of all, I am going to explain this. So this namespace is organize helper class inside Laravel application, and this is a reusable class to standardize our API response. This function is just going to create a success response where $data return data. Suppose you have fetched data from database. All the data will be stored inside this $data variable. And code, this code is for HTTP status code like 200, 201 or whatever the code, error code or a success code. And this JSON response is Laravel helper to send JSON response. So with this help of return, we are just going to send the JSON response. And this success is indicates the success response, successful request. Okay. And inside there is one mistake in error. This is not true. And dollar message is just like a human readable message, and data is actual data, response API data. Okay. So inside the error method also, we are going to pass the success as false, message as a just like a readable error message, not a complex error message which everyone can understand. And inside the error, trend validation error or any other error. So now we are moving to a controller. For example, I am going to show you in our, we have already created fetch data from database. The API is index. Okay. So in this API, you can see we have created my own API response, a very long API response. Okay. So now we are going to replace this with our API response, this API response helper. So first of all, I'm going to show you how the API is looking like, this task API. So when I'm going to hit this API, I click on send. So now you can see the response is coming according to whatever I have written here. So now I'm going to remove this. Just not going to remove this, just comment out this code. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to write return, and before this we need to add this API response helper in the header section. Use app slash helpers and slash API response. Okay. So this API response we will use here inside this after the return success, and inside success the first parameter is data. Okay. So data dollar task is coming inside the data. I can see this is tasks is coming inside this. Okay. And the message is task created, task fetched successfully, task fetched successfully. Okay. So you can see, just reduce this line of 10 line of code. In single line, you can return your success message. So now I am going to hit this URL. This will successfully give me the API response. So you can see it's very clean. You can see success is true, message is task fetched successfully, and whatever the data you are getting with the pagination. So you can see it's current page and current page 1. You can see it's first page URL, last page, everything, link is also there. So whatever the response we are going to return with pagination. So it's showing here. Okay. So now if I talking about this error message, I'm going to show how to implement the error code, error response also. So just go to in create API. So you can see inside the catch we have just mentioned this error and all that. I'm just going to remove this and return the API response function is error. As you can see inside this task not created. Okay. And an error message I'm going to set 500. Okay. So the error message if the task is not created and there is some problem. So let's go in Postman. This is my create task API. Send this. So you can see task is not created because there is some error maybe. So you can see the response is proper structured according to this helper, success, message and errors. Success, message and errors. One line of code, and this is very structured code. So you can see. So now notice something important. Every API response in our project now follow the same structure. So after this API response we have created, now we can use in every function and every controller the same structure. So in the get response, in post response and error response, all the same format. So this makes front-end integration much easier, and mobile application also it's very easier to handle the response, error response and success response. So if you are following this Laravel REST API series, check the playlist because every episode builds a real production API. So this is my playlist. So we have covered all these things like Sanctum Authentication, login register, model and migration, and REST API, resource controller, seeder and factory, get, post, put, delete API, and also pagination, also search and filter, and role based access, file uploading, rate limiting, and also in previous video Laravel API handling with clean JSON response. So in this video we have covered global error handling in Laravel REST API. So a standard response structure are used in almost every production API like Stripe API, GitHub API, Google API for consistency, because consistency is the key. Now our API responses are clean and standardized, but validation logic is still inside controller. So you can see all the validation rule in every function, every controller separate. So in the next episode, we will move validation to a form request and make our control much easier. Okay, so the next episode will be Laravel API validation with form request. If this video is helpful for you, so please like this video and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get latest updated video from my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video. We will meet in next video. Till then, take care. Bye.